You might be wondering how secularization fits into your UPSC answers about Indian society and the Constitution. By the end of this video, you will be completely clear about what secularization means and why it matters for exam answers. We will start simple, use clear examples, and end with a key insight many aspirants miss. Think of secularization as a slow social shift where religion loses its central role in public institutions and decision making. Brian Wilson described secularization as the process through which religious beliefs, practices, and institutions lose social significance. M.N. Srinivas helps by highlighting two features: changing notions of religion and differentiation of institutions. When the notion of religion changes, customs that were once sacred can be reclassified as social or cultural practices. Differentiation means fields like law, education, and the economy develop their own logic distinct from religious control. This does not mean religion disappears. Rather, it becomes less central to how society organizes itself. In India, secularization is uneven and often linked to westernization, reform movements, and modernization processes. Visualize a village where priests once decided disputes and rituals guided daily governance and social order. Over time, those disputes moved to courts, municipal offices, or professional experts rather than religious authorities. Key drivers include modern education, urbanization, transport and communication, and legislative reforms. Western-style education introduced scientific thinking, legal ideas, and individual rights that shifted loyalties from traditional authorities. Railways, telegraph, and media increased mobility and contact, weakening locally monopolistic religious authorities. Reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy challenged superstition and promoted rational religious reform and social change. Laws such as the Special Marriage Act and later personal law reforms reduced exclusive ritual control over family life. Urban life with heterogeneous populations tends to create spaces where secular norms can flourish. Srinivas cautioned that secularization sometimes accompanies Western influence, but the two are not identical. Elements of secularization include separation of state and religion, personalization of faith, rationalization and growth of scientific temper. Separation of state and religion means public policy is framed on neutral civic grounds rather than religious sanction. Personalization makes belief a matter of private choice rather than enforced communal duty. Rationalization brings bureaucratic procedures and professional norms to areas once governed by ritual or tradition. Scientific temper encourages empirical testing and critical inquiry, reducing reliance on supernatural explanations. In the constitutional context, Articles 25 to 28 protect freedom of religion and conscience across India. The 42nd Amendment explicitly described India as a secular republic, reinforcing the constitutional commitment to secular principles. Indian secularism is different from Western church-state separation. It often means equal respect for all religions in public life. Rajiv Bhargava called the Indian approach principled distance, where the state neither privileges nor excludes religion aggressively. Nehru's view treated secularism as protection for belief and non-belief alike, not as opposition to religion itself. This balanced stance was intended to prevent communal domination and protect minority rights in a plural society. But challenges to Indian secularism remain central to public debate and UPSC questions. State involvement in temple administration, pilgrim funds, and management of religious properties raises questions about neutrality. Measures to protect minorities can be perceived as favoritism, creating political contestation and legal challenges. Understanding these tensions is important for writing balanced, nuanced answers in the mains and in interviews. Tip for exam answers. Clearly distinguish de jure secularism, the constitutional promise, from de facto practice on the ground. Mention thinkers like Andre Betel and T.N. Madan when discussing how religion is culturally embedded in Indian social life. Betel noted that many social bonds run through cultural practices, where religion shapes dress, food, and everyday habits. T.N. Madan argued religion in India resists neat privatization because it is woven into identity and public culture. Always link theory to concrete examples such as temple management, civil code debates, or recent judicial decisions. And towards the end, we will understand a key idea that most UPSC aspirants miss. Secularization is a process, not a single outcome. Therefore, avoid absolutist statements in answers. Use qualifiers like partial, uneven, and context dependent to stay accurate. Secularism can be an instrument to curb communalism while allowing public expression of faith under equal rules. For policy discussion, propose tools like principled distance, legal reform, education for scientific temper, and transparent administration of religious properties. Quick recap. Secularization reduces religion's exclusive public hold. Differentiation builds autonomous institutions, and Indian secularism stresses equal respect. Key terms to use in your answers: secularization, principled distance, differentiation, rationalization, de jure and de facto secularism. Keep your examples contemporary, your arguments balanced, and ground claims in constitutional provisions or landmark cases for UPSC credit. Practice structuring answers with one paragraph on causes, one on features, and one on constitutional debates and challenges. Remember that historical reforms, modernization, and legal change together shaped India's distinct secular trajectory. Warmly, you can craft model answers that combine sociological theory, Indian specifics, and current debates with clarity and confidence. If you want model answers, concise notes, and practice questions on secularization, continue studying with EduRev to sharpen your UPSC preparation.